Hello, students. The other day, the 12th standard students were asking me, why not, ma'am, you do one project for standard 12 also? I asked them which book you want, story, poem, or Tempest. So they said, ma'am, we want the Tempest. In order to satisfy them and cater to their needs, today I shall be doing a project on the Tempest. The question for the project is: the strong imagination sees a crown dropping upon the head. This line from the Tempest shows how imagination and ambition can become powerful tools of treacherous plotting. Trace the manner in which Antonio and Caliban use these tools to manipulate others in the play and write how the latter, that is Caliban, is a foil to the former, that is Antonio. Okay, we begin with a quotation. The occasion speaks thee, and my strong imagination sees a crown dropping upon thy head. Antonio utters these words to Sebastian when the other members of their retinue have fallen asleep due to Ariel's charm. Although Antonio appears simply to be reminding Sebastian of his noble heritage, he is in fact implying that Sebastian should expedite his ascendance to the throne by killing his brother Alonso in his sleep, thereby becoming the king of Naples. Sebastian initially seems aghast at Antonio's suggestion, but he quickly grows amenable to the idea and joins the treasonous plot. Caliban speaks the words, Ye, ye, my lord, I'll yield him. The sleep where thou mayest knock a nail into his head. So these words are spoken by Caliban to Stephano when he has convinced to assassinate Prospero and take control of the island. Although Caliban desires to knock a nail into Prospero's head, echoes the other plots of treason in the play. It differs, however, in the sense that Prospero and Caliban are not related. Thus, Caliban and Stephano's plot does not constitute a familial betrayal like that of Antonio against Prospero. However, the basic motivation for the murder plot remains the same as others, since Caliban maintains that Prospero has unjustly laid claim to the island over which he, that is Caliban, should rule. Caliban is an antagonist in The Tempest who is used as a foil to Antonio. Caliban is described as a savage and deformed slave, the son of a witch named Sycorax and the devil family. Caliban is certainly a deformed and monstrous figure, but as a character, he is much more than a slave. Shortly after Caliban appears on stage, he delivers the following speech explaining how he has dethroned, rather, he was dethroned by Prospero. He says, "This island is mine by Sycorax my mother, which thou takest from me." Despite Caliban's allegation on Prospero, both Caliban and Antonio betray a person they once trusted. In the case of Prospero, it is Antonio who thinks that Prospero does not deserve the throne of Milan. And in the case of Caliban, he feels that Prospero has taken away the island from him. So we see that both Antonio and Caliban are foiled to each other. Caliban teams up with Trinculo and Stefano to help him kill Prospero. Antonio teams up with Alonso and Sebastian to exile Prospero. Thus, Antonio and Caliban both want to rule and be powerful in their respective regions. The power which Antonio seeks is political. Having been entrusted with the responsibility to govern the state of Milan, Antonio becomes ambitious. Finding his brother Prospero engrossed in study, Antonio begins to imagine himself the real ruler. Using all unfair means, Antonio acquires a hold on all the organs of the government and ultimately enters into a secret agreement with Alonso, the King of Naples. Antonio carries out his plan to oust Prospero from his dukedom. On a lower level, Calib- Caliban instigates Stefano to murder Prospero if he wants to become the king. And Stefano accepts Caliban's suggestion promptly because he too imagines a bright future for himself. He goes so far as to appoint both Caliban and Trinculo as his deputies. Antonio uses the tools of ambition and imagination in treacherous plotting against Prospero. In the same way, Caliban imagines Stefano as a good, although as a god, although Stefano's power is no more than that of a drunkard. He wants to use him along with Trinculo to kill Prospero. However, plot in each case is a treacherous one. Antonio has planted the idea that ruling has been a secret ambition of Sebastian, and now he suggests that all that has happened in the past is just the beginning of the real story of their lives. He says, "What to come in yours and my discharge." He is in fact casting a vision for what their true destiny will be. It is also important to consider that Antonio's own past reflects a similar pattern to their plot. One brother usurps the power of another. This is what Antonio did to his own brother Prospero. In spite of Prospero's efforts to civilize Caliban, the latter remains a beast. When he meets the drunkard Stefano and Trinculo, he hatches a plan to murder Prospero. Whereas the plot of Caliban becomes frustrated by Ariel, Antonio's plot becomes successful to a great extent, that Prospero, along with his infant daughter Miranda, is exiled. However, the betrayal of Antonio to Prospero and the betrayal of Caliban to Prospero are parallel to each other. Hence, we can say that Caliban is a foil to Antonio. So, this is the answer to the project question. I hope students of Standard 12 have understood it. Okay, thank you. So, if you like the video, please like, share, and subscribe to it. Thank you.